Hey you guys, it's MJ. How are you? So I've just stepped out of the swimming pool leisure center where I've taken up some, or I've sort of renewed my love of swimming and sauna and steaming, and making it like almost a daily thing lately, or just getting outside or going to the sea or doing something really fun. So some of you guys have been watching me for a little while, know that I've been transforming and working with some heartache energy and, like, the breakup energy and all that kind of stuff. And I always try to look at it from the most loving perspective that I can, i.e., no blame, no attack. I take full responsibility for the creation, right? So, and I'm all about like doing your best to like really hold space for your emotional body. Really, really detach from the thoughts and hold space for what you're feeling. Like what is your heartbreak really telling you, If you're not all focused on like blaming someone for how you feel, what is the heart telling you? And after like an intense, this has been building for months for me, and then like just an intense illumination around the heart and like letting go of pain, and then all of these things just sort of slotted in energetically and have released the kind of burden of the heartache, you could say. So when we get to the other side, this is what I'm really aware of. We just have clarity. And I'm realizing that, and I know this is so annoying and probably really cliche, but like heartache is a function of life. Heartache and heartbreak is really like what I'm experiencing anyway. It really does open us into the heart if we let it. Because suddenly what's all turned around is I'm like feeling this immense love for myself and for the other person and just for life in general. And if I hadn't experienced that kind of intense heartache and pain, I wouldn't know what love is. I wouldn't really know, like how to truly love myself, because I never knew what it was like to like lose it, in that symbolic sense, to lose that which I love, and then realizing that heartache and heart pain that I feel is like eons of like me denying myself my own love. Like, and then you start to feel all that love, and like life becomes more clear, and paradoxically it becomes bigger, but at the same time it becomes more simple. You realize that the whole like, rest and settled and like simplicity is totally where it's at. It's taken me a really long time to really, I maybe have been talking about this stuff, right? But like to feel a grounding, anchoring energy from within after all the heartache. And trust, like I could go back into like certain thoughts and just be like, why doesn't they love me? But I'm like, but that's the diligence, that's the practice, right? Is that like I'm not going back into that thought, like trying to be analytical and work people out and trying to control and manipulate people. Like that's not fun. That's not like, or rationalizing why somebody would do something, like just owning our pain, feeling it, consciously letting go of the pain. You don't have to let go of the beauty of something. You don't have to let go of like the love and the expansion and the learning and the all the good stuff. You can carry that with you, because that's the thing of expansion and like this upward ascension journey, is that it does get better and better. You have to continue on, in a faith and trust of your own loving heart's connection. And like, again, it's all you. Your loving heart is your ability to connect to your heart and be the loving expression that you are, and recognize that in truth, everything, there is a higher purpose to everything. But getting more clear and knowing what you want and being able to see patterns, like old patterns and like patterns you don't even realize you're in. Like, a yogi, whatever type person, meditator type person that I am. And we're like suddenly having transformed and worked with all this heart energy and like coming out the other side, I can look back at the last like 2 years of my life and just be like, oh my God, I was completely ungrounded. I was completely chasing egoic projections like money, or chasing whatever it might be, a man. Like there was just this, it was like this intense, just like like, this is all the bullshit that's holding you back, and like spinning out loads of heartache, like over cyclically, like intense heartache, and then like just a whole bunch of craziness. And then now I'm like, you know, when you recognize where your heart home is, where you recognize your potential in life and in business to just keep riding out the waves and keep seeing people in loving light. And like, it's really beautiful. Thank you guys. So I just want to send a shout out because you guys have been sending me so much love, because I've been very open about healing this heart and you know, letting go of like lots of like age-old suffering and like deep, brutal, like painful, punishing kind of energy, guilt, all that. And now, like, you know, I know that like I'm another like 7-year cycle as well, and so this is just like super exciting because suddenly I'm like, oh my god, like desiring a family and like the simple life in a sense, but also like travel and holiday, and realizing like I can feel it lining up. It's crazy and awesome. Like you can feel things just, and when you come into that energy stream, that's where like you have to let people be completely free, because the truth of it, you never control people, you know, like you have to have complete faith that the people who are meant to be in your life just are there, or just show up in divine timing. And you know, again, trying to control people or think that, you know, we need to whatever, you know, it's just, for me, it's been about really letting go with love and letting myself express from my heart, but with a sense of like, go be love, go be free, go be your potential. And then really coming back into my center and my 2 feet, my life, my where I want to go, and making peace with those decisions and knowing that they're right, you know. And then looking back at the past, just be like, yeah, thank you so much, past, but like you're integrated, and I can let all of the shitty stuff go. I can let all the pain and like the fear and the fear of just this is the crazy, because you can really look back and see that all your underlying fears creep into your life and end up creating that pain, i.e. the pain of heartache. And then when you're really sitting with it, you can see your arrogance. You can see areas where you think that it's all like, oh, woe is me, but then you realize like like we're all in this together. That's like that's the juice of life. We think we may think, oh, he's so detached, he doesn't feel anything, or and that's the sad lie of like this whole idea of like man's world or woman's world. It's like, no, this is our world, people. We all feel, we all have stuff, you know. And I just gotta say, forgiveness, love, and compassion, owning your stuff, like it just is the way. And it's so glorious, although like it's super intense when you're like crying for days on end, just like writhing in your bed like, when's it gonna end? But then like hearing the sparkle of divine wisdom like shine through you while you're like, ah. That's just the legitimate truth of it, y'all. Like, again, it's kind of like weird because we plaster like love and light, and like we want the marketing side of the spiritual game to be really like everything looks a certain way. And like for personally, like it's that thing, that's why I like do what I do, because like I want to share with you guys that like the transformation, the real grit of spiritual work is you being able to feel your emotional pain. Feel it, heal it, consciously let it go. Forgive yourself, let it go. Forgive other, let it go. Let the emotion, that's the part of the emotion. Again, the emotion is your energy. That's the energy of motion that is you, that's in constant communication, you know, interfacing with mind and letting, and like your soul constantly ushering a certain movement and direction. If we don't clear out those dense emotions, we stay stuck. So letting that emotional body clear itself out is the ultimate kind of, I would say, healing for us. We can reflect back to one another, we can hold space for one another, we can be a witness for one another, we can help unlock emotional blocks for one another by reflecting stuff. But that sitting into the pain is just our work. No one else can do it for us. And that's the thing, like we can sit in pain and be longing for someone to be just like holding us. And like that's part of it as well, like those moments, and just being like, and then instead of longing, being like, how beautiful is it to love someone that much, to feel that connected with somebody. So instead of feeling into the pain of the disparity of not being with someone, instead like go into the ability of imagine, like you might use a memory to just imagine what it's like to be held by somebody that you love infinitely and unconditionally, right? And so that, like, ultimately when you do that kind of stuff, that's what will create the new manifestation. So all I can say is, like, totally expecting next level on every level of my life. And it's amazing because I'm aware that with this awareness, or, you know, like with this conscious awareness, you can sustain a nice, oh, I'm calling it my exponential phase. So from 2018, you know, I'm 35, I've waited a long time, blah, 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 blah. It's like 2018 is like the manifestation year and the exponential growth phase. So, woo, woo, yeah. Thanks guys for tuning in. Always appreciate your subscribes and your shares and just your comments about if you're getting jiggy with it. If you're getting jiggy with the Ultra Love vibes, go ahead and subscribe. Oh, and check it, yow. Check it out, yow. I've got my Ultra Love hoodie on. And it's badass. So if you want an Ultra Love hoodie, go to the Ultra Love website and buy one. I would really appreciate it. Like, come on, y'all, support the local peeps. It's just me and one other girl. Like, those are the, if you buy something, you're helping us feed ourselves, which is like the legit truth of life. I love you guys. Have an awesome day, and I'll speak to you really, 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 really soon. Peace out.